The following is a presentation of the Big Ten Conference.
Big, bad Brett Bielema and the eclectic P.J. Fleck have their teams trending in the right direction. Fans on Appreciation Day await the players and a matchup made to order in the Big Ten. It's Memorial Stadium on Military Family Day, and number 24 Illinois is set to take on the streaking Golden Gophers of Minnesota. We're live. Hi again, everyone. By my side is Devin Gardner. You'll hear from Josh Sims a bit later. I'm Tim Brando. You know, November is to remember. But for either one of these teams, Devin, you got to win this game.
Yeah.
And if you look at this Illinois team, they're trying to flush a game, but Minnesota is streaking. They come in here supremely confident.
Yeah, and it's a big reason that they're feeling this way, and it's because of their quarterback, Max Brosmer. He's really found his way with this receiving core. He's got on the right foot with those guys, and he had his best day a week ago. But, Tim, don't let that fool you. That's just icing on a cake. A cake whose foundation is in running the football with the young fella, the sophomore, Darius Taylor. For them to have success, they have to make sure they get him going. They're going to have to run the football to pass the football, and they should be able to do that today.
And he's got a little help, too. A variety of backs will come in and join them a little bit by committee. You know, Illinois, we talked about it, trying to flush out what happened at Autzen Stadium. By the way, I think the fact that they're still ranked sends some confidence to this team, because what Bielema told us is we got to flush it and move on.
Absolutely. This is a really good football team, and it means a little more for their quarterback, Luke Altmaier, a guy who got hurt in this game a year ago, a guy who just didn't play well a week ago, but he played well all season. And like you said, that's the reason they're still ranked. They've got a good, talented football team, and he's got some good news as well. His talented wide receiver, Pat Bryant, is clear to play, and they're really going to need him because they want to create some more explosive plays down the field in the pass game. They need him to do it.
These teams have designs on 9 and 10-win seasons. P.J. Fleck ready to row his boat here in Illinois in a matchup that may be flying a little under the radar. But our broadcast team will make sure it's front and center when we bring it back on FS1. Right after this, you'll hear from Josh Sims. Honoring the military today on Military Appreciation Day. Magnificent scenes on a resplendent afternoon in the Midwest, nearby Grange Grove. We honor America and those that fought for our country's freedom. Here in Champaign, it'll get up to 62 by game's end. Perfect, really, for college football, as is our sideline reporter, always on top of things, Josh Sims.
Well, Timmy B, I'll tell you that Illinois had some good news on the injury front. Like Devin mentioned, Pat Bryant good to go after that injury last week. But not only that, on the defensive side of the ball, corners Torrey Cox and Caleb Patterson both banged up last week as well. But head coach Brett Bielema told us they are good to go today. This team needs to be at full strength, coming off that tough loss at the hands of Oregon. But Bielema told us they did something they don't normally do. They watched the tape. That's normal. They learned from their mistakes. But then on Sunday night, instead of waiting for Tuesday, they flushed it. They moved on to Minnesota prep, and he said that made sure that the bad vibes do not linger for this team. He said it looked good during the week. They refocused. They had one of their best practices on Thursday, so let's see how that carryover goes on out on the field out here today, guys.
Yeah, a lot of times playing on the road and you have a tough outing as they did in Eugene. It was a long flight back. So they were able, I think, really flush it, Devin, from the time they got on that plane and made their way back. In fact, they kind of moved up what happens on Monday to Sunday.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do. It was a game that you, of course, have to learn things from, but you can't dwell on it. You have a new week, a team coming in Minnesota that is riding high, just like you spoke about.
Lenari Wilcher will be in single safety as Minnesota won the toss and deferred. Illinois receiving, and we'll have a touchback, and they'll bring it out to the 25. So immediately Luke Altmaier